Views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. A major firearms and ammunition and drug bust. One suspect arrested. A 12-year-old ordered removed from a home as guardians face sex abuse charges. And police looking for a gunman who killed a woman a couple of days ago and injured two others. All straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end?
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Tuesday, July 1st, 2025. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Duquesne will be joining us. Also this morning in business, we're talking with Commonwealth Bank, the first bank, local bank to offer Apple Pay, what that means for you in just a bit. That's coming up. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, police and customs officers seizing 25 illegal firearms, 5,216 rounds of ammunition, and 49.6 pounds of marijuana concealed in appliances in a vehicle in western New Providence. This was on Friday evening. Commissioner of Police Shanton Knowles making that big announcement on Monday. Knowles said officers were acting on a tip from a credible source when they stopped and searched that vehicle, which is carrying household appliances. Upon further inspection, they made that discovery. There were 24 packages of marijuana valued at $198,400. According to the commissioner speaking at a press conference at police headquarters yesterday, 2 of the guns are revolvers, 11 are pistols, and 12 are rifles. There were 29 magazines and 24 packages that contained the ammunition. Knowles added that 2 of the magazines seized were drum magazines, which are able to hold multiple rounds of ammunition. Knowles says that officers will work with counterparts in the U.S. to trace the guns. She did not share the make of the vehicle involved in the seizure nor the exact location where it was found. However, the commissioner said officers had 1 person in custody in relation to the bust. Investigations continue into the country's latest murder. A 13-year-old boy was also shot during that incident, shot in the leg, and a 19-year-old woman shot in the chest following that incident in which a 27-year-old woman was murdered in a triple shooting on Sunday night. Assistant Commissioner of Police Anton Ramming asking for the public's assistance in the ongoing investigations, noting that the 2 survivors were in hospital in stable condition. A magistrate ordering a 12-year-old placed in Child Protective Services because her guardians are facing child sexual abuse charges. Assistant Chief Magistrate Carolyn Vogt Evans making the order after the child's 42-year-old mother and her stepfather, a 45-year-old pastor, were charged on June 19th with molesting her older sibling. Prosecutors alleged that the man molested his then 15-year-old stepdaughter in December 2022. Additionally, the girl's mother and stepfather are alleged to have molested her in June 2024 and on February 10th, 2025, at the ages of 16 and 17. The mother and stepfather have been remanded, and the alleged victim, living with her maternal grandmother. On June 19th, Vogue Evans ordered that the removal of the alleged molestation victim from the custody of her maternal grandmother in order to prevent witness tampering. However, defense lawyer Alfonso Lewis said a judge has been asked to lift the order. A decision is still pending. The mother has since been freed on bail by a Supreme Court judge, while the pastor remains in custody. Both of the accused appeared before Vogue Evans on Monday for the presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment. The documents were not ready, and the matter has been adjourned to September 18th. A 28-year-old father is facing a charge of child cruelty after prosecutors say he injured his 9-month-old son during a domestic dispute. The man's name has been withheld to conceal the infant's identity. It's alleged that the man and his wife had a domestic dispute on June 19th. Prosecutors say that during the altercation, the husband rammed his wife's car with his. The impact reportedly caused their son to fall and receive injuries. The man denied the charges at his arraignment before Assistant Chief Magistrate Carolyn Vogue Evans yesterday. His bail was set at $7,000, and he's ordered to wear an ankle bracelet. The husband has agreed to leave the marital home while the case is pending. The matter has been adjourned to July 16th for trial. A man has been charged with the murder of a man who was shot and killed outside his home. 21-year-old Edward Major of Constitution Drive, on Monday faced murder and conspiracy to commit murder in relation to the June 23rd death of Linwood Roll. According to police, at around 8 p.m. on that date, June 23rd, Roll was walking towards a car that had pulled up outside his home on Newbold Street in New Providence when two gunmen got out of the vehicle and shot him multiple times. Major was not required to enter pleas to the charges when he made his initial court appearance before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley. He was denied bail, and the matter is adjourned to October 2nd for the presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment. And a Bahamian man indicted in the United States on charges of illegal re-entry by an aggravated felon. According to a press release from the United States Attorney's Office in the Middle District of Florida, Kenthan Lavardo Swain would face a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison if convicted on all counts. The indictment claims that on May 16, 2025, the 39-year-old was found in the United States after having been removed from the country on 3 occasions. The press release saying that Swain had not received consent of the Attorney General or the Secretary of Homeland Security to reapply for admission. It's also noted that Swain has been previously convicted of multiple felonies, including possession of controlled substances with the intent to sell or deliver. The release said the case was investigated by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Unit, or ICE, and will be prosecuted by Assistant United States Attorney Jeff Chang. And former F&M Senator Jamal Moss says he believes that he is the best choice to represent the South Beach constituency, but he accepts the party's decision to nominate Senator Darren Henfield. Moss said some people in South Beach weren't aware of the decision and felt confused when they found out the news. Overseas, Thailand's constitutional court suspending the prime minister from office pending an ethics investigation over a leaked phone call with a senior Cambodian leader. The judges voted unanimously Tuesday to take the petition accusing Prime Minister Shinawatra of a breach of ethics and voted 7-2 to suspend her as prime minister. The court gave her 15 days to give evidence to support her case. The Prime Minister has faced growing dissatisfaction over handling of the latest border dispute with Cambodia, involving an armed confrontation on May 28th, in which one Cambodian soldier was killed in a leaked phone call while she engaged in diplomacy with Cambodian Senate President Hun Sen set off a string of complaints and public protests. She said after the court order that she would accept the process and would do her best to defend herself, as she had no other intentions but to protect the country and preserve peace. And British Prime Minister Keir Starmer marks a year in office this week, fighting a rebellion from his own party in a vote today on welfare reform and reckoning with the sluggish economy and rock-bottom approval ratings. It's a long way from the landslide election victory he won on July 4th, 2024, when Starmer's centre-left Labour Party took 412 of the 650 seats in the House of Commons to end 14 years of Conservative government. In the past 12 months, Starmer has navigated the rapids of a turbulent world, winning praise for rallying international support for Ukraine and persuading U.S. President Donald Trump to sign a trade deal easing tariffs on UK goods. But at home, his agenda is running onto the rocks as he struggles to convince British voters and his own party that his government is delivering the change that it promised. Inflation remains high and economic growth low, frustrating efforts to ease the cost of living. Starmer's personal approval ratings are approaching those of Conservative Prime Minister Liz Truss, who lasted just 49 days in office in 2022 after her tax-cutting budget roiled the economy. And it's time for sports, brought to you by Kalik. Bahamian professional basketball player DeAndre Ayton is set to be on the move in the NBA again with a year remaining on his contract. It's being reported that Ayton is finalizing a contract buyout with the Portland Trail Blazers to become a free agent. As first reported locally in the Nassau Guardian, the Blazers are looking to move on from the former number 1 overall draft pick of the Phoenix Suns. The Bahamian, who will turn 27 later this month, was set to have a salary cap hit of more than $30 million for the Blazers next season. He had $35.6 million left on a contract that was set to expire next summer. ESPN is reporting that the buyout was initiated by Ayton. It's being reported that he and his representatives approached the Blazers about a buyout and wanting to play in a winning situation. Already there are a number of suitors interested. The Los Angeles Lakers, one of those teams. You can read about the rest in today's Guardian Sports section. More from the NBA, Victor Wembanyama has another big man to help him out in San Antonio. The Houston Rockets continued their offseason overhaul, and Orlando and Atlanta making some moves with eyes on contending this coming season as the NBA free agency period got underway Monday. The Spurs lured center Luke Kornet away from Boston with a 4-year, $41 million deal, according to a person speaking to the Associated Press on condition of anonymity. Kornet was part of Boston's 2024 NBA title team and has shot 68% from the field in 205 games, mostly off the bench. The Rockets, meanwhile, adding veteran forward Dorian Finney-Smith on a 4-year, $53 million deal shortly after free agency opened. ESPN first reported the deal, according to a person with information speaking on condition of anonymity. Houston becomes Finney-Smith's 4th team after stints with Dallas, Brooklyn, and the Los Angeles Lakers. ESPN also reporting that the Rockets' run of free agents continued with the addition of center Clint Capella, who spent the first 6 years of his career in Houston before playing for the last 5 seasons in Atlanta. Dallas, which needed some point guard help, especially because the newly re-signed Kyrie Irving is rehabbing from an ACL tear, may not be ready to play until about mid-season, and so they agreed with D'Angelo Russell on a 2-year contract worth nearly $13 million. At sports, brought to you by Kalik and Pop the Top, back and bigger than ever. Kalik the Beer of the Bahamas giving away up to $200,000 in cash and prizes. Purchase your favorite Kalik beer and look under the cap. You could be a winner. Free Click beer, free Click merch, or cold hard cash could be yours just for drinking Click. Click reminds you to drink responsibly. Time for your first look at weather for today, brought to you by Star General. An upper-level low will remain stationary just northeast of the Bahamas while extending a trough across the northern islands. This is going to interact with ample tropical moisture, generating occasional showers and thunderstorms throughout the day today. Elsewhere, deep layered ridging will continue to build westwards, supporting a plume of Saharan dust that will act to suppress significant shower activity through tonight. So, for the next few days, we're looking at lingering troughing and moisture to continue to support bursts of heavy showers and thunderstorms, especially across the northern and northwest Bahamas. That will continue until at least Wednesday. Building high pressure will produce increasingly drier and stable conditions as that Saharan dust plume will eventually move across the area, but by the weekend it should thin out. There is a frontal boundary that's moving across Florida, and it's expected to stall and weaken by Friday. That could trap cloudiness and relatively higher shower and thunderstorm chances across the northern islands by the end of the week. We'll tell you more about that in our tropics update a little bit later. So for today, there is a likelihood of isolated severe weather, including hail and funnel clouds across portions of the northern and northwest Bahamas today. Everyone's being advised to pay attention to severe watches and warnings from the Department of Meteorology. So residents in the northern and northwest Bahamas are urged to exercise caution during heavy rainfall events, as there is a possibility for flooding in low-lying and flood-prone areas. And when it's not raining, we've got to deal with the heat index and the UV index. They're both expected to be in the high to very high range. The heat indices in the upper 90s to lower 100 digits today as well. So for today, your forecast for the northern islands, partly cloudy to cloudy, a mix of sun and clouds for the rest of the northwest Bahamas. We were dealing with a 20 to 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, especially for the northern islands. That should decrease to about 10 to 20% by tonight. For the central islands and the southeast Bahamas, mostly sunny and hazy today, becoming mostly fair at night, with only about a 10% chance of showers and afternoon thunderstorms. Wind southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots, becoming gusty at times for the extreme northern islands. East to southeast at 15 to 20 knots and gusty at times for the northwest and central islands and the southeastern Bahamas. Temperatures today around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius for highs, but the heat index will make you feel like it's 102 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting up to around 80, 81 Fahrenheit, about 27 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning, brought to you by Star General, insurance made simple. We'll have your extended outlook and look at the tropics coming up in just a bit.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up.
It is time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
With RBC, your idea of loving every journey happens now. Free up cash with affordable auto financing from RBC. With competitive rates and no bank fees, it's the perfect time to make every journey something special. Apply now to pre-qualify in 60 seconds at rbc.com/auto loan to shop with confidence. Conditions apply. RBC, your idea of loving your journey happens here.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Cades Village, or call 396-1100.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rates apply on the BTC-powered text line. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Duquesa Dean. Duquesa, good morning.
Good morning.
Everybody
How
saw
are you?
that.
Good morning. Good morning, Bahamas.
Great to have
guys
you
are
with
doing
us.
Great today. I'm excited to be here.
Happy
Thank
July.
you. Yes, July 1st. We are into the final 6 months of the year.
Oh, my gosh.
And summer.
Yeah, right in the heart of it, right?
Right in the heart of summer.
Hey, and it's what is it today? Flag Day? There, or is it
Not Pride Day or something?
No,
I
that
don't
one's
know,
coming
something.
up. It's a lot. So, yeah, if you're not dressed yet, they're encouraging you to wear your flag colors. I think you're going to have to do that straight up to Independence.
Right.
So, for the next 10 days, just do it. Bring out everything, the black, the aquamarine,
And the
or
gold.
anything the blue
Yeah,
family.
yeah.
Maybe.
We're both dressed.
And yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey, let's have fun with it, right? So that's all ahead. Coming up later in the show in business, we're going to be talking with Commonwealth Bank. They have launched Apple Pay. Many have been wondering, when are we going to be able to use that here? And you can now. You don't have an iPhone or
I'm
anything?
not in. No.
Well, who knows? Maybe you can. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll
Yeah.
find out if there's still a way for you to use, because it could be pretty convenient. So we'll talk more about that and find out what you need to know this morning. That's all ahead. But let's talk about what else is in the news. And in the news, some interesting stories in the papers today. The police giving some more details about that shooting that left a woman dead and another woman shot and a child. They're learning more about it now. So it was a teenager, a 13-year-old boy who was shot in the leg, and a 19-year-old woman shot in the chest. And a 27-year-old was murdered in this incident, this triple shooting on Sunday night. Police asking for anyone with information to contact them urgently. The two survivors are said to be in stable condition in the hospital. Just a really strange situation there. Yeah. Wow. So the police saying, again, there were some people sitting outside a house on the porch, and somebody just appeared, shooting at them.
Right. Well, we send condolences to their family and best wishes for their quick recovery. But it's really disturbing to think that you could be sitting outside of your home and is it targeted? Is it random? Like, we need more details.
Well, the police not able to say whether these were the targets, whether these were the intended victims. They don't know. They don't know.
Yeah. We've gotten to that place where human life is basically of no value with the amount of murders and shootings and rage that we see within the community.
Very disturbing. We'll get to the big story in the paper today about this major firearms and ammunition and drug bust. There was another story. We told you about this a few weeks ago. This pastor, who I guess refers to himself as a prophet, and his wife, who were accused of molesting her daughter, so his stepdaughter.
Right.
So the victim in that matter, the judge, the victim is staying with the maternal grandmother.
Okay.
So they have another child. So take a listen to this. Our RTZ Davis writing about this. A magistrate on Monday ordered a 12-year-old placed in Child Protective Services because her guardians are facing child sexual abuse charges. Assistant Chief Magistrate Carolyn Vogt Evans making the order after the child's 42-year-old mother and her stepfather, a 45-year-old pastor, were charged on June 19th with molesting her older sibling. Prosecutors alleged the man molested the stepdaughter, his then 15-year-old stepdaughter, in December 2022. Additionally, both the mother and the stepfather are alleged to have molested her in June 2024 and on February 10th, 2025, when she was 16 and 17.
It just blows my mind that a mother,
Allegedly is accused.
allegedly, would have any sort of involvement in something like that, or would choose to remain with someone when you know that they have molested your child. How do you participate? How do you allegedly participate in an act like that? It's not our culture.
He's a prophet. The mother and stepfather were remanded, and the alleged victim living with the maternal grandmother. On June 19th, the magistrate ordered the removal of the alleged molestation victim from the custody of her maternal grandmother in order to prevent witness tampering. Right? However, defense lawyer Alfonso Lewis said a judge has been asked to lift that order. A decision is still pending. The mother has since been freed on bail by a Supreme Court judge, while the pastor remains in custody.
Oh, interesting. So I want to know if the mother has a stay-away order from...
I hope so.
From the teen, and maybe that's why the request for the removal of her from her maternal grandmother was requested, because that could be some influence.
I'm sure. Both of the accused appeared before Vogt Evans on Monday for the presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment. The documents were not ready, and the matter has been adjourned to September 18th. Wow.
So, I also wonder about the best interest of the 17-year-old. I don't know if she's currently 17-year-old, but the agencies that advocate for child protection and particularly in instances like this, because she's going to need some support as well, and also, protection from corruption.
And this 12-year-old,
Obviously
Child
traumatic.
Protective Services, that means separated from her
Right.
sister and everybody.
Correct.
This is really.
And I have
wide.
another question. I wonder if there are other victims, like, maybe
Allegedly.
not alleged. Right. Yes. Y'all just remember it's alleged, because I may not. But I wonder if there are other young girls that have come under the sphere of his influence or community that may be impacted as well. Because that's a heavy responsibility when you say you lead a congregation or prophet or whatever, right? So,
Interesting questions. We will see. We'll keep you posted, definitely, on that one. All right, so more court news. This is very disturbing. A 28-year-old father is facing a charge of child cruelty after prosecutors say he injured his 9-month-old son during a domestic dispute.
oh,
So it's alleged the man and his wife had a domestic dispute on June 19th. Prosecutors say that during the altercation, the husband rammed his wife's car with his.
what?
The impact reportedly caused their son to fall and receive injuries. The man denied the charges at his arraignment before Assistant Chief Magistrate Carolyn Vogt Evans. His bail is set for $7,000, and he was ordered to be tagged with an ankle bracelet.
Wow.
I mean, see, okay. Is that the type of thing that you need an ankle bracelet for? What are we
No,
doing?
right.
What are we doing? See, this is...
Right.
Why does he... Really?
Maybe it's included in the.
No.
Maybe it's included
No.
in the infractions.
We do it all the wrong things. The
Maybe
people out on-
it's one of the categories that would allow for an anklet bracelet to be distributed. Maybe there's a list of them: Dwight, murder, armed robbery, all them sorts of things. Maybe it's
And obviously the list that we have is the wacky list, right? Because
know.
the murder, really, and,
Right.
and this.
Right.
Huh? Okay.
right.
Anyway.
There's a lot going on in this town.
Always. But that is just a tragedy there. And but what are you going to ram your wife's car?
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably going to have to fix that. Yeah,
Again, conflict and anger management. I don't think.
But anyway, he's denying that he did that. Okay. Well, at least deny. I don't know which part he's denying. But anyway, wow. And this is very interesting. Bahamian indicted on, and so it's not just this town where there's a lot happening with Bahamians. It's all over the world. Bahamian indicted in the U.S. on illegal re-entry charge. A Bahamian man was indicted in the U.S. on charges of illegal re-entry by an aggravated felon, according to a press release from the United States Attorney's Office in the Middle District of Florida. Kenthan Lavardo Swain, a 39-year-old, would face a maximum penalty of 20 years in federal prison if convicted on all counts. The indictment claims that on May 16th this year, Swain was found in the United States after having been removed from the country on 3 occasions.
No. How's he getting there?
Oh, I have to control myself. So many things I was going to say. I was going to say you could ask some people who keep ending up back here. But anyway, learn from the best.
Yes. I want to know.
So the press release said Swain had not received consent of the Attorney General or the Secretary of Homeland Security to reapply for admission, I'm sure. It also noted that Swain had been previously convicted of multiple felonies, including possession of controlled substances with intent to sell or deliver. Wow. The release said that the case was investigated by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, that's ICE, and ERO, Enforcement Removal Operations. Wow, that's a serious name. And will be prosecuted by Assistant United States Attorney Jeff Chang. It said the case is part of Operation Take Back America,
Oh.
which, quote, marshals the full resources of the Department of Justice to repel the invasion of illegal immigration, achieve the total elimination of cartels and transnational criminal organizations, and protect our communities from the perpetrators of violent crime. The operation is part of U.S. President Donald Trump's immigration agenda, which he has been aggressively pursuing since coming to office in January. Yeah. Well, we certainly would want to deal harshly, although harshly here is something else, but we want to deal harshly with somebody who's been found in the country 4 times.
Right.
Especially after being kicked out 3 times, and has convictions of drug possession with intent to sell.
That's some serious
supply.
Fortitude and courage. Do you get kicked out multiple
That's the
times?
words you're using?
I don't even know what. How does your mind work?
Serious insanity and stupidity.
How does your mind work? How?
Wow.
But I want to know, Dwight, how did he get back in 3 times? So that was the 4th time, right? Is it by air? Is it by plane? Is it by boat? I
can't answer the question. I don't know. But
They know,
he certainly
though.
knows how.
Wow.
But sometimes deportation is not enough. You've got to lock people up.
Wow.
Obviously. Okay. Wow. So let's get your messages before we get into this big drug bust. So this person says here, boy, here we go. This is a text. Now tell me, do you think it's fair that a mother who helped facilitate the molestation of her child is out on bail while the stepfather isn't? Shouldn't they both be behind bars? It's just bail. They haven't been convicted of the crime as yet. There's zero accountability for the woman. You got a real problem. I don't know. All of them are horrible if they actually did this, and they will be dealt with, I pray, by when this court case finally gets going. It's not about different rules, but I'm sure whatever she did would never be as horrible as anything he did. In terms
that's
of
what
physically.
it seems like, right?
But it's all disgusting. It's all disgusting. We don't have to separate this into a woman and man thing. Okay? And you really, I'm telling you now, you need to talk to somebody.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
You need to talk. Something's wrong. Unless you're just trying to get us agitated every day. I don't know. But if you really think like this, you've got a severe problem. Someone says here, so someone was charged with the worst offense, and I'm so confused. Some was charged for the worst offense and had the bracelet removed for embarrassing him. Oh, someone, they're saying. Okay.
Oh, what do you mean?
Right. I think I remember this. They're saying that he couldn't do any work because of the ankle bracelet. I think a number of people have made that claim.
Oh.
Yeah, but I don't know if that was needed in this matter. Oh. The ankle bracelet is all about money. It's a private and run by a private company, so everyone will get one. Can you find out how many people are wearing them now? That's interesting. Wow.
So the problem isn't fixed with the ankle bracelets?
I don't know which problem you mean, but it's a different company from maybe the last
right,
time.
because I remember.
But this person's saying it's all a numbers game, so they'll put it on everybody so the company can get money for it. That's serious theory. How? Oh boy! This person says here, tell your co-host he's getting there the same way the Haitians are getting here. He uses the Harry Potter portal. Simple.
Where's that?
He seems to be a wizard.
Right.
He really does seem to be one.
I'm serious.
But I think his magic spells have just run out. Okay, well, anyway, the big story in the Nassau Garden today, major firearms ammo drug bust. This is big. Look at all this stuff on this. This is like an army. Ukraine wishes it had this right now. This is a whole bunch of stuff. Take a listen to this report from our Vonique Toot.
Police made a significant weapon seizure over the weekend, confiscating 25 illegal firearms, an assortment of ammunition, and 49.6 pounds of marijuana, which were concealed in household appliances. Commissioner of Police Shanton Knowles says based on information received, police mounted a joint operations with the Bahamas Customs Department on Friday afternoon.
We stopped a vehicle in the western portion of New Providence. Upon searching that vehicle, which contained a number of household appliances, we found what you see here today: 25 firearms, illegal firearms, an assortment of ammunition. I think it's 5,216 rounds of ammunition, and 49.6 pounds of marijuana. This is what was taken from our streets on the weekend.
Knowles says one person is currently in custody in connection with this discovery, which was smuggled into the country. The drugs have an estimated street value of $198,000. Knowles also gave a breakdown of the weapons and ammunition seized.
In this haul, we have 25 weapons that were recovered. 2 of them are revolvers, 11 of them are pistols, one of which is a ghost gun. 12 of them are rifles, 9 of which are ghost guns. And of course, 29 magazines, 24 packages of what we know now to be marijuana, 24 packages which contain ammunition in the amount of 5,216. And I'll give you a breakdown of the ammunition that we recovered. 240 rounds of .40 ammunition, 3,081 rounds of .9 millimeter ammunition, 837 rounds of 7.62 ammunition, 50 rounds of 38 ammunition, and 143 rounds of 300 ammunition.
The police chief had this warning for anyone else who may be involved.
We just need the public to see, and for those who we may not have in custody, to see that we got your guns, we have your marijuana, we have your ammunition, and my team will now be coming to look for you. But I want you to know that the operation, we believe, was successful, and we could not let these get into the hands of those on our streets who are causing havoc and creating fear.
She noted 2 of the magazines can hold multiple rounds of ammunition and could cause havoc in the hands of the wrong person.
Anything could have happened. They could have been sold, they could have been shared on the streets with those people who want to create fear and conduct unlawful activities.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Vonnie Tude.
Wow. What a lot. This is, that's a lot. All right, so this person's asking, what's a ghost gun? So you can 3D print these things now. Yeah.
It's crazy.
So the police asking for anybody with information again to help them with this, and I guess they really appreciated that tip they got. And won't say what type of vehicle. That'd be interesting to know. You know what
Where was the ammunition?
I think in a vehicle in Western New Providence, I believe it says. It would be interesting to know what label was on that vehicle. I'm sure. I bet you it was. Wouldn't be surprised. Hey, let's talk about it. We have these type things every so often.
But you see the type of guns?
Mm-hmm. I bet you each one is spoken for. Everybody must have already had a buyer.
I don't even know if the police have this type of ammunition. This is insane.
Let's hear from you. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. You can call us toll free too. 242-300-5720.
Dwight, the guns, this stuff was stuffed into appliances.
Yeah.
And shipped here?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I would love to know what type of vehicle
wow.
this was. Let's hear from this caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Duquesa.
Good morning. How are you?
I am just as concerned, or even overly concerned, about what's going on in this country. Dwight, this, if my memory, not a boy, GNN, if my memory serves me correctly, several years ago, we busted a trailer with such weapons and ammunition. And that the persons that were arrested was subsequently not charged.
What?
I don't know if you remember that. Years ago. The person was connected to some type of politician. And that trailer load of weapons and everything, that the person was never brought to trial. This has become ordinary in this country. Dwight, those weapons you see there, I'm a military man, ex-military man, and some of them I can't wrap my head around. You understand? Dwight, we need to do something about this country. Now, only one thing, I commend the Royal Bahamas Police Force and whoever was involved in busting that ring, but I give them a little fault, Dwight. They ain't supposed to stop that van. You understand? They're supposed to follow that van, scout that out exactly to where that was going. Now, I don't know if it was going west, further west, or coming from west up this way, why they stopped that. But they supposed to bust that whole ring. Wherever that van parked to offload them furniture, they supposed to grab all them people too. I give them a little fault for that. So next time, Commissioner of Police, follow it through. And the boy who been in the United States 4 times, he might have supposed to get there twice. But they didn't catch him. And they sit him down and interrogate him to find out how he getting from the Bahamas where he is. I give them a little wrong for that too, Dwight. Thanks for taking my call.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. Wow. Continue to call him 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Maybe they'll give this guy they have arrested a plea deal to name some names, tell some people who he's working for or who gave him this stuff and who took the time to plant this in all those appliances.
Boy, there's so many things I want to say, but I can't.
And we'd love to know which company.
You know,
the appliances.
wow.
Oh boy. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
I am just elated to hear this wonderful news this morning. You know, this morning as I was reflecting on July 1st, as we're about to celebrate our 52nd anniversary of independence. And my prayer this morning was for Bahamians to become courageous like God gave the instructions to Joshua. We need to save our country by being courageous and reporting things, you know, regardless of who we see doing wrong, whether it's our family members, our friends, our colleagues. We ought to talk to them in the first instance and let them know we suspect something is wrong. If it is wrong, stop it. If we see them continue, report them to the authorities. That's the only way we're going to win this war against all this carnage of bodies, man, and this country being restored back in terms of getting rid of crime. But I'm just excited to see that persons are giving information to the authorities. I give God thanks because I know it's an answered prayer for myself, and I will continue to pray for this nation, continue to pray for Bahamians to become people of integrity, man. When the people lose their integrity in a country, the country is going to go to ruin. And so if you would allow me just for 30 seconds to say this to the Bahamian people, as July 1st, as we embark on our 52nd anniversary, the Word of God says, no one will be able to stand against you as long as you live. For I will be with you as I was with Moses. I will not fail you or abandon you. Study this book of instruction, that's the Bible, continually. Meditate on it day and night, so you will be sure to obey everything written in it. Only then will you prosper and succeed in all you do. This is my command, says the Lord. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you, wherever you go and whenever you go. People, report what is wrong in our nation. Uphold your integrity. Love this country. We are always sending around things on Facebook complaining about who's taken over and who's not taken over, and we don't like the direction of the country. But what are we doing? Do we have integrity? It starts with all of us upholding our integrity, doing what is right, and reporting what is wrong. Okay. Thank you, Dwight. Have a wonderful day.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. Okay, let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, good morning, caller.
Dwight,
Hi.
and good morning to the questor,
Good morning.
the Duchess. Yeah, Dwight. Just like GNN said, right? Couple years ago, that a young man on the streets with hundreds of guns and ammunition, and they gave him 5 years to go sit down. So in this country, right, that this country of pretense, right, because this is what the Bahamas is shaping up to be, a place where you pretend that things can change, and just let's wait to see if it will. Because when we're going to see some examples being issued to these criminals in this country, or the criminals running the country don't want their partners to go to jail for a long time. What's going on? Something has to be done, because you have to give example. You have to make people them know that, like, hey, if we catch you with this type of amount of mass destruction, because that's what they are. They are weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, absolutely. There are messages being sent. There are sometimes. It's not often, but there are. But it amazes me. I got to pull up the story that was in the paper yesterday. How these lawyers around here. It's only certain lawyers. It's the same names over and over. Will quickly come to the court and say, "Oh, that sentence was unduly harsh. Oh, it was too much." Like, yeah, for killing people,
Right. But I mean, like,
point blank
that's their job.
in a robbery. I mean, it's their job. But
I don't know how they
that's-
sleep,
but,
at
I
night,
really
but,
don't know.
I
don't know how people
maybe-
associate with them.
Maybe that's what they have to tell themselves, that, this is just what I do for work. But, like, if you even have an inkling that your client probably committed this crime, how can you defend it?
It's crazy. I'm going to pull up the story and let you all hear about that one in a bit. But let's take this call, and then we'll get to your text messages. Good morning, call. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. You're on.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well.
Yeah, well, a lot of things going on. The Bible has to be fulfilled. But Dwight, I was very disturbed this weekend when it come down to the youth of our country. I dropped my son off to get-together with graduates out east, this eastern place. And, man, the boys, to me, their dress attire was fine. But the girls, they were naked. And I asked some of them, I said, how can your parents allow you to go? Oh, my dad, my mommy. So the parents, them, I know some time ago you all said that parents need to be charged, They're allowing these girls to dress naked. And many, many parents, and they holler about, but this and that in the government, they're not taking control of their home. They're encouraging, especially the young girls, the boys, them will dress, but these girls with these nice skimpy things, young girls from high school, okay, it was ridiculous. Dwight, if you had the younger than me, oh, my daddy, my mommy bring me here. I say, they drop you here like this to be raped?
Okay, so now there we go. I was about to ask you what is the issue. I mean, it is not right. But what you're saying that they're inviting rape?
But they're encouraging all the fools.
They're encouraging themselves to get raped. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, how they put Dwight, if you saw, I don't know if you have a child, if you were to see your niece or somebody else, you say, get your hip in this car, you going home. I mean, it was ridiculous, Dwight. I tell no lie. I can talk to you off air, but Dwight, our parents are just as bad, man. It was bad. And I'm a male. That was a male son I dropped off there, and he's properly dressed. But the girls, man, these parents, and there's one or two girls coming to the car, look like hookers, man. These parents right here who go into church every Sunday or Saturday, they need to be held before the courts themselves. It's ridiculous. That's why this country going down, These parents, I want to listen to me. Them. I don't want to say the word, but these irresponsible parents who listen to me, and then high society, middle class, and lower class. It is totally ridiculous, Dwight. I'm telling you. And this, if we don't stop this, this whole country can be gone. I might as well tell you, because the parents are supposed to put their foot down. And I'm not saying you have. I know we have good parents there, but if you saw the magnitude, it was over 1,000 kids were there. Trust me, it was a lot. You see?
Okay.
And so,
all right.
Dwight, I don't know what to say. We have to pray. Like the lady say, I think we need to get back to basic with God, because this space, I'm not talking about the political arena, because people just doing what they feel like doing. They're allowing the politicians to influence even some of these reporters. And thank God for your show. Your show is the only fair show I see. Because I've been watching some shows recently, and you could see the political selling themselves for what? For what?
I hear you.
But
Thank you very much.
Dwight.
Okay.
Your show is balanced. That's all I can do. You know where I'm coming from. Watch the other shows. I appreciate it, man.
Okay.
Thanks.
Now,
oh boy, now
I have
it's
stuff
right.
to say.
Oh, this is a whole other show.
No, because I don't agree with the stance that it's like they are inviting rape. I too, though, was alarmed watching like some of the prom pictures and at what these parents are allowing their daughters to wear. They are essentially out and about naked. It was really, really alarming. And I'm not saying that is an invitation or they're putting themselves as an invitation to be harmed. When you look at the immaturity of young boys that they come up with or whatever, I just feel that this is my real personal opinion, that a whole lot of prevention is better than an ounce of cure, right? And so when you consider the society that we live in and the fact that people act out more than they exercise control, there should really be some consideration to, I wonder what would happen if, when I used to watch Sesame Street, and a little girl with the container of marbles standing behind the door, and she had all these different scenarios. If she poured a container of marbles out, what would happen? I really think that we need to start thinking, I wonder what would happen if.
Okay. Oh boy. We're gonna get into some interesting things here. Everybody needs to exercise
some level,
sort of discretion.
Everyone, right?
Right.
Including those that see someone dressed in a way, they should still have control over themselves. That's not an invitation.
Without a doubt, some people are going too far.
Yeah.
But you got a bigger problem.
Yeah.
Because, we got a lot of beaches around here, and people are wearing
bikinis.
Very little.
Yeah.
So if you're saying that this person dressed like that is going to cause people to lose control and rape them, you've got bigger problems than what they are wearing or not wearing. Right? So, yeah. But again, there's no reason for you to be wearing just threads.
Right.
But still.
What is that about?
That doesn't give anybody the right to say, well, you must be asking for it.
Agree. It doesn't give them the right, Dwight. But if you're mentally deranged, if you're sick, if you're a pervert, right?
And that doesn't happen immediately.
And you
so
see that.
Signs,
right.
So where are the parents who allowed that person to get to this point?
Absolutely. But
right?
They see
Just
that.
like the parents who allowing the daughter to come out like, you have allowed this terrorist to just continue to run amok.
Agreed.
And you see the signs, and you're not getting any help for this person.
Agreed.
So we got a lot of finger pointing to do if we must point fingers. But nobody's ever asking to be treated.
Right. Absolutely not.
In this degrading way.
Yeah.
But, oh boy. Okay, let's get to these messages before we take a break. That's a whole show.
Right.
That's a whole 5-hour show. Anyway, we had a big fun seizure about a year ago and nothing since the case. I hope the owner was taken into custody and not the hired truck driver. Well, all of them. Well, who knows? He better explain himself. He was just driving.
Right.
If that is the case. No stress. What goes on in this country? Also, many persons come back and forth because of money. Some people on these boats, when they get catch, they have their papers already. We all know. Okay, there's a lot of speculation here. Anyway, but a lot of shady stuff is going on, basically. I had a home invasion, and culprits had these same types of guns.
What?
And you were right there. That's terrifying. Wow. When a police officer is killed, isn't that the worst of the worst? Obviously not. You'll hear how many guns that was. This country will never change because the leaders don't want it to. Look how the president turned El Salvador around, but here we still are in this situation, I guess I'm saying. I don't know. I want to know when they will stop hiding the faces of the people breaking the law and being charged, not even a booking photo so the public is aware. They're not hiding. They're not hiding. It's just that they aren't. They aren't.
That's interesting.
They're not hiding. They're just not telling us necessarily. But if we can go up there and we can take a picture, you can. But you might not know who's who. Blame the way the justice system is set up, not those who are working for it. It's not a truth system, unfortunately. Was this in response to the lawyers? Yeah?
Maybe.
My boy Trump won't play with these corrupt politicians and civil servants over here. They know that now. Okay. Please tell the caller to shut up. So you can encourage yourself to get raped? What? This is ridiculous. The women always are the problem for worthless, low self-esteem, trifling men. Wow. Okay. They are. It's not encouraging rape, but it's gotten out of hand. It's crazy, the style of dressing. Great show, D&D. Sorry to break into this topic, but isn't today Flag Day? Yes, we're wearing our flag colors, sort of.
We spoke about that earlier.
Quest has got some very nice yellow. I just have yellow ears.
I have my blue, and I have my
blue. You got the black
black
shawl, and I got my multi stripes there. And
blue, black, gold. Yeah, we got it.
The lady is right, and it's true. Some mothers are dressed in their young. Are dressed in their young babies from the baby. What? They're starting to dress them up like, not nice words. Okay. All right. This is going to get worse. Let's take a break. We'll pick this up on the other side of the news. This is Morning Blend.
That text
on
you
the first
to break.
day of July. Yeah, that was a rough one. I'll show you that as we go. Stay with us here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Hello, everyone. I'm Charlene Ferguson. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow, Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796. And now at 8:28, time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams paints dull walls, bringing you down. Well, Sherwin-Williams has the cure. Don't have your place looking toe up. Get that glow up from the superior quality of Sherwin-Williams paints. All right, so here's what's happening weather-wise. We've got an upper-level low that's going to remain stationary just northeast of the Bahamas while extending a trough across the northern islands. This feature is going to interact with ample tropical moisture and generate occasional showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. Elsewhere, deep layered ridging is going to continue to build westwards, supporting a plume of Saharan dust that's going to move to suppress significant shower activity through tonight. So that's mainly for the central and southeast Bahamas. As we move forward, so lingering troughing and moisture will continue to support occasional bursts of heavy showers and thunderstorms across portions of the northern and northwest Bahamas until about Wednesday. Building high pressure will produce increasingly dry and stable conditions as that Saharan dust plume moves across the area, but eventually thins out by the weekend. A frontal boundary across Florida over the next few days that is likely to stall and weaken by Friday. That's going to trap some cloudiness and relatively higher shower and thunderstorm chances across the northern parts of the country by the 4th of July into the weekend. And that could be an issue for some of the northern islands in the Bahamas as well. Before we get to that, though, there's a bit of isolated occurrences of severe weather, including hail, strong winds, and funnel clouds across portions of the northern and northwest Bahamas today. And flooding is likely in low-lying and flood-prone areas. Plus, we have to deal with the heat index and the UV index when it's not raining, and especially for the central and southeastern islands. More on that in a bit. But for today, for the northern Bahamas, we're looking at partly cloudy to cloudy conditions for Grand Bahama, Apico, and Bimini. A 30 to 50% chance of showers with thunderstorms, decreasing to about 10 to 20% tonight. For the rest of the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, look for a mix of sun and clouds, slightly hazy, turning mostly fair tonight. A 20 to 30% chance of showers with thunderstorms, decreasing to about 10 to 20% chance by tonight. For the central and southeast Bahamas, mostly sunny and hazy today, becoming mostly fair at night. Temperature-wise, we're looking at highs around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius, but the heat index will make you feel like it's 102 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 80, 81 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. In your extended outlook, partly cloudy to cloudy conditions expected tomorrow for the northern and northwest Bahamas, partly sunny to sunny for the central and southeastern islands. It's going to hold for Thursday as well. And then by Friday, partly cloudy conditions across most areas. By Saturday, cloudy to occasionally overcast in the northern Bahamas, partly sunny to sunny for the rest of the country. And for Sunday, mostly cloudy in the northern islands, mostly sunny for the rest of the country. In the tropics, you've got a frontal boundary that's expected to stall and weaken off the southeast United States coast by late this week. As a result, an area of low pressure could develop near or across Florida by this weekend. The system has a 20% chance of tropical cyclone formation through the next 7 days. We'll continue to keep you posted on that one. That's your morning blend weather check brought to you by Easy Car Sales. Easy Car Sales Teacher Appreciation Promotion winner will be drawn today at 4 p.m. at the BYD showroom at the Mall Marathon. Watch the live stream on the Easy Car Sales Facebook page today. And it's time for a check of your traffic, brought to you by RBC. With RBC, reaching your goals happens here. In your real-time traffic, we've got Mile Butler Highway seeing some heavy traffic this morning from Fire Trail straight up to Tonic Williams Darling Highway in the northbound lanes. And then we've got Blue Hill Road also looking busy for you just north of Soldier Road on the way to Independence Drive. Same story on East Street as you approach the roundabout with East-West Highway. Some slow-moving traffic there. Along Prince Charles Drive at the major intersections is going to be pretty busy for you, like Beatrice Avenue, and as you approach Robinson Road, some slow-moving traffic just west of the intersection with Soldier and Prince Charles. Northbound on Soldier Road and Marathon Road, both you're going to be seeing some slow-moving northbound traffic. And a reminder of the work on Joe Farrington Road. That project continues nightly, generally after 9 or 10 p.m. Avoid the area if you can, or follow the posted traffic signs. That's your Morning Blend. Traffic brought to you by RBC. With RBC, your ideas happen here.
Win with Shell. Fuel up with $20 or more and unlock your shot at unforgettable prizes.
We're talking regatta trips to Exuma and Harbor Island.
Free fuel, grocery vouchers, water park passes, and more. Just snap your receipt and WhatsApp it to us at 242-422-0271. The vibes are high, the prizes are hot, and the summer is yours to win with Shell. Only at participating Shell stations in Nassau. Now through August 22nd. Terms and conditions apply.
Abaco, get ready for the summer's official rum and beer link up. Royalty Sounds present Found Fast. Found Fast. Saturday, July 5th, Morris Harbor, Abaco at the Royal Recreational Ground. Gates open 5 p.m., $20 entry. Ladies free before 8 p.m. with Nassau and Abaco's hottest DJ. Don't miss the beer drinkers versus rum drinkers competition.
Right, pulling for the best side, icicle liquor.
Damn rum for me. Found Fast, July 5th, Abaco. Sponsored by Collect, the Beer of the Bahamas. Drink responsibly.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
As a healthcare professional, you dedicate your life to caring for others. But even with the best care, legal challenges can arise. Protect your practice and your peace of mind with medical malpractice insurance from Star General. At Star General, we've partnered with Lloyd's of London to bring you comprehensive professional liability insurance designed specifically for those consulting or practicing privately. Visit our website today so you can focus on what you do best, caring for your patients, while we take care of the rest. Star General, insurance made simple.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
At Cleveland Clinic, care is everything. So when your primary purpose is to care for the world, you'd start with your community until you're accessible anywhere. You make complexities your specialties and put compassion before anything else, all to redefine what's possible. For everyone, everywhere. For every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
Here's the Sure-winning art store moment from Shelley and Dee Dee.
We're the only full art store in the Bahamas. If we don't have it, we make a list, and trust me, our boss can get that. If you need that, he can get that. You can find sketchbooks, acrylics, the canvases in all sizes, stencils. We have the Angelus that they use on shoes and letters. We're the only persons in Nassau that carries the Montana spray. We have the crayon sprays, watercolor and paints, the oil, chalk paints, the alcohol paint, metallic paints, the little Floetrol, and we have cleaning products for the artists, thinning products for the artists, and Crayola colors, and glitters, pencils, the Posca markers, and pastels, oil, and the acrylic pastels, dyes. Oh yeah, we also have airbrush paint. I didn't forget that part of the movie. Gift sets, hobby craft,
Oil, shrimp, stew, shrimp gumbo. But art supplies. We have a lot of them. Sherwin-Williams Art Store. Find colour in every day.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
Big plans, unexpected expenses, whatever life throws your way, Fidelity is here with loans tailored to fit any of your personal financial needs. With a quick turnaround and a built-in savings that pays you interest, we make battling unexpected expenses easy. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Get ready to catch the thrill and win with Shell. Fuel up with $20 or more and unlock your shot at unforgettable prizes.
We're talking regatta trips to Exuma and Harbor Island.
Free fuel, grocery vouchers, water park passes, and more. Just snap your receipt and WhatsApp it to us at 242-422-0271. The vibes are high, the prizes are hot, and the summer is yours to win with Shell. Only at participating Shell stations in Nassau. Now through August 22nd. Terms and conditions apply.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of the start of.
We're back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with DeQuesta Dean on this Tuesday morning. And we're talking about what's in the news. Okay, so we were talking about this major firearms, ammo, drug bust, and some of the unbelievable court cases in the papers today. But we did get a call before the break that might send us in a different direction. It's not related to what we were talking about, but it was very interesting.
Interesting.
A caller who said he noticed at an event with a bunch of young people that while the boys are dressed conservatively, the young ladies were not. And he was suggesting some things that. So we're going to say it again. Yeah, just because you dress like that, it is not inviting. It doesn't mean that you deserve to get assaulted, sexually abused in any way, shape, or form. That is not right. And DeQuesta and I were talking about this off air. I mean, it doesn't matter how you are dressed. We've seen it. Nuns in their habits are raped. People who are from head to toe in robes, you can't see them. They're raped. It doesn't matter. And what are we saying? So if you feel this way, you should not be allowed on a beach because you wouldn't be able to control yourself? Is that how it works? So if you're having an issue, it's not what the young ladies are wearing. It's you. Now they shouldn't be. We could argue. We could talk about it, whether that's appropriate or not for the event.
Right.
And for their ages, sure.
Right.
But that doesn't mean
that they're inviting
they're looking for something.
Right. They're probably just being creative and their expression through their dress or whatever.
Oh dear. That's another story, but it's not our business.
Right.
And yes, the parents maybe should take more control and have a say.
With minors,
but
yes.
That's up to them.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you get to touch or make any stupid comments.
Correct. Control you.
Yeah. We've seen it, and you've been here when we were talking about it. Unbelievable things are happening. 90-year-old women on their porches.
On their home sleeping.
Right? And then they're being sexually assaulted. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're not dressed in any shocking way.
Yeah.
So some people around here have some real issues, and you can't blame the women for that. Let's talk about it. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free. 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us. 422-4796. This texter says here, we're leaning closer to African roots. If you're mad at what young ladies are wearing, have you seen African cultures in their essence? Well, you're talking about the tribes back in those.
Right. Basically naked.
But we don't know if they had a rape culture of that one, right? We don't know. We've never heard that. I'm not saying it didn't exist, but that is not known to be. Often it's warring tribes will come in and their evil anger do foolishness.
Correct.
But not the people they live amongst generally, no matter how naked they were.
Yeah.
Again, I could be wrong, but it's just not a thing you hear much about. But it's become something else. Now, what's going on? Caller, what say you on it? Good morning.
Good morning to you and your guests, and by extension, Dwight, Bahamas.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm going to take part in the topic that you just mentioned, but allow me to just say a quick something about the guns and stuff, or the crime thing. Until we pay attention to the small, because if I see I cannot get away with small crimes and infraction, I would not attempt the big ones. And when I say that, I support it a bit by saying, when you ride on the street, you have guys with no helmets, no license plates on the bike, and sometimes they line up on the side of the police, and the police like they're not there. The buses speeding all over the place, and up on the sidewalks, police passing them and stuff. And mind you, yes, they don't have adequate pullover spots and stuff like that, but just the small crimes. And then our leaders, they need to be made accountable, because they don't follow the very laws that they put before us. Okay, now I'm going to go to the current topic. While I agree with you, Dwight, and your guess, now, but I'm going to say this. I still will stand by at the same time that if I am aware of a certain behavior going on, and I have a daughter, I'm not gonna put out there like that, right? I'm gonna be real.
I agree. You shouldn't.
Yeah.
You should not.
Because I know what I am exposing her to. Nobody has the right to touch my little darling innocent daughter. Nobody has the right. But at the same time, as a responsible parent, I have to be cognizant of the behavior that is out there. And you mentioned about the beach. On the beach, Dwight, it's more an accepted behavior on the beach. I could be in my house nude, or just say I have a curtain that separates the outside. The behavior is accepted. I cross the curtain and I step outside. The behavior is not accepted. And in closing, Dwight, I know the behavior of people touching people's things. I'm quite sure, Dwight, I'm going to speak for you this morning. I'm be bold. I know that Dwight, the talk show host, will not leave a briefcase of money in his car with his clear windows and the money exposed. Why should Dwight have to lock up his money? Nobody has the right to touch Dwight's money. Why does Dwight gonna spend all kind of money on security? Nobody has the right to go on Dwight's property. What's the reality of it is that if we don't do these things to protect and secure ourselves, our values, and our property, we know that persons will invade our privacy. So those who know better, do better.
I hear you, and I totally agree with you. But again, you could dress your daughter like a nun. She would not be safe still. So that says a lot that we've got bigger problems than how they're dressed.
Yeah, and I'm not in any way taking away from the fact that if you dress a particular way, that it could cause other people in the environment to have visions or or, I don't know, whatever they feel or sense or whatever. And that should be a consideration when you go into the world. At the same time, though, I also know that people who have the desire to rape others or to take from others what do not belong to them also have a responsibility to control their urges, to get help. Because someone dresses a particular way does not mean they want your attention. So I think it's both sides of this coin here. And I agree that for a minor in particular, parental guidance, parental mentoring, and these conversations should happen. I've heard young girls say that, they're dressing for them. They don't need to be concerned about anybody else. And I don't necessarily agree with that. You do have to have a consideration for what would happen if, and then make a sound decision based on that. So I don't think it's just black and white.
Yeah. You still there, caller?
Yeah, I'm still here. Okay, allow me a quick rebuttal before I go. Yes, okay. I agree with part and parcel what you said, but and not unintentionally, in my humble view, that you're contradicting yourself. All right, to more or less, because if we already agree, we on one accord with that. Nobody should not touch you. You should be able to freely wear what you want to wear. What I'm saying to you, and all the listeners, if we are aware of the potential, the possibility, or the probability of any adverse impact to ourselves because of the way we would present ourselves, even the police themselves, they tell you take precaution. Take reasonable precaution, okay? It'll be a beautiful world if females can dress so freely the way they want to, but we cannot ignore the reality. So persons who breach individual civil rights, then they will be met with whatever the law has set aside for them. So if I make a choice as a woman to go out there, and the word we're using here this morning, some pervert decide to invade my privacy and stuff like that, then the law will deal with them. That's plain and simple. That is black and white. Would you agree with that? And thank you for taking my call.
Thank you.
I hear you. I'm saying plenty of people were not dressed provocatively and still encountered some horrible circumstances. So that's an excuse that a lot of people use. That's not it. We got a bigger problem. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning to both of you, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Madam Dwayne.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I have to be honest to myself and honest with my God to support Dwight this morning and a statement that he made. I don't always agree with some of his views, but he nailed a statement that we do have some issues. And hearing that from Dwight, he bait me in to call him. But Dwight, I endorse your statement. We do have some issues. And that's why I am so disturbed that politics has become a religion to deflect the issues that we have in this country. Politics, persons who have their liberal values or enter in politics, and when you ask them their views on certain values, they deflect into politics. And I endorse your statement. We do have some issues, and I will use C. Allen Cohen conversation. And as long as we try to deflect, it's going to get worse. So this morning, I congratulate you on your statement. We do have some issues.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
And good morning to your co-host.
Morning.
You know, I'm listening to not this gentleman, the one before him that was talking about the way ladies dress that may entice some unwanted persons. I have a simple question. Does blind men have kids? Yes. And why do they have kids? They can't see the way the ladies dress, can they? So it has nothing to do with sight. That's my point. It has nothing to do with what they see. It's just the way they are. They are perverted from the mind.
What
a man can know a woman without seeing her. Hearing her voice sometimes can get a man aroused. Touching her can also get a man aroused. So if you see somebody, you go about your business and you don't touch them, you can just as well be okay. But when you come in personal contact with someone, which you should not do, you invade their personal space. It's what changes things. Blind men have kids and wives. So, of course, it's nothing to do with sight. They did not see what the woman looked like. So that makes no sense to me to say, oh, it's how you dress.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. It's an interesting way to look at it there. Let's take some more calls before we get back to your text messages. DeQuesta, while we take this call, I want you to read this text and tell me if you think I should read that on the air or invite that person to call in, because that is something I don't want to read on the air. But
Really?
But this is, I guarantee you, there's several people, several hundred, several thousand,
Really? That is
several
interesting.
million believing that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is. Yeah, we're gonna read that.
Can you read that? Yeah.
We're
Okay.
gonna read that.
Oh boy. Do I have to read it? Can I get you to read it?
I can read it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
And good morning, DeQuesta.
Good morning. How are you?
How you doing, baby sis?
I'm good, thanks.
I just have a request for you all to play the song by Jackie DeShannon. It's 60 years old, and what this world needs now. I played it yesterday, and my daughter asked me, Daddy, how old that song is. You see, it's 60 years old. Let that be the theme for this today for everybody. Please pull it up and play it, okay? Because we still need the same thing. You see, the world needs now is love.
Okay.
And no matter how many excuses people come up for these young men who disrespecting people's children, I guess it will carry on. What they see, everything you see ain't for you, and what you see will get you, what they say, you're rare and in trouble. That's
Okay.
just my contribution for today. But play Jackie DeShannon's song that is 60 years old.
All right. We'll
Okay?
get to it at some point during the show. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're live on the air. Hi. Good morning.
Pleasant good morning. Yeah. People talking about how these children are dressed and all that. what kind of, see, you got sick people out there, all right? Regardless of how you dress. As I'm sure the A-Tree grandmother didn't have no G-string and shoe-string, right? I'm sure these pedophiles who children in school uniform, all uniforms and tie in a different way. You just get sick people out there. And all we can do is try to protect ourselves the best that we can. But that doesn't mean they're not out there. You know, so it ain't got nothing to do with how you dress and things. That's a bunch of foolishness. Because these little girls 7 years old, you can see sexy with them. Huh?
Indeed.
This is true.
Thank you.
That's all I got to say.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah. One more call. Yeah. Good morning. You are on the air.
Yes, good morning. How you doing, sir?
Doing well. Turn on your radio for us, please.
All right. Yeah, there are a couple of opportunities to look at. There are crimes of opportunity. There are crime of availability. Then you have crime of attractiveness in terms of what people see. So these are three things you can look at when you talk about these things. So whenever person say it's not what they see, it always, most times what you see that attracts you to do anything. Whatever you see. So there are some studies that's going on in the United States where there was where they used like bait things, bait car, bait bicycle, bait TVs, or keep your house open, and it was showing that because of the availability, it'll cost. They even had some people who never stole before stole just because of the access and availability of it. So back to the dress. We all know dress are merely to attract something, to not for the negative things, but to be appealing. That's what you dress for, to be appealing, not the necessary to be attacked or be abused. but it is to be appealing when you dress. So we still got to be cognizant of what we portray out there as we dress. I'm speaking directly from the female. So it does have a bearing on how you dress, how people see you. Yes, I know there are some bewildered person who are just naturally have a mental issue. But there are some people who did it for the first time because of the availability. Because the first time availability, so we still have to be responsible for how we present ourselves for there and how we allow things to be shown to people like it is out there for you to see. And we are men. We see women dressed, and most of the time, whenever you dress to look good to the opposite sex. Not necessarily being for anybody to attack you or anything, but you want to bring the attention. So we have to be responsible how we dress and how we dress our kids, or how we allow our significant others to go there and so forth to bring attention to themselves. Thank you.
Okay.
you.
All right. Well, I mean, well, let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. Are you there? No? Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, there are people with some real issues. So, I mean, like, if you are like a freak for wool, if you're in a sweater, I mean, you could be in grave danger. Right?
Yeah. It doesn't.
What you gonna do?
It doesn't always have to mean that someone is scantily
Apparently.
dressed. They can be
Right.
dressed, in a very.
Well, you know what wool does to me? Oh boy. Okay. So be careful. You gotta keep that in mind.
You do.
There you are. And don't be alone with the stranger.
No, you can't. You definitely cannot be alone.
Because the opportunity. Let's read that message
Yeah,
there.
so this texter is saying, Dwight, women are undisciplined, and that is why society is doomed. Women cause all the problems. Every social ill can be solved if women had virtue. Seriously? Seriously. So we're going to throw it all on the women. What about the men? What about if men took their rightful roles in society? What if men were virtuous? What if men modeled the behavior? What if men were protectors and providers to avoid women from having to go out there and abandon their traditional role as someone that should be a nurturer? Like, what if men did what they were supposed to do? Do you think the world would be a better place?
All right, here's this text. I don't know if this... I need you to tell me if you're a man or a woman texter. So the person says, I went to Atlantis wearing red and white. A tourist came to me talking as if I was a lifeguard. I told her, I wasn't one. You know what she said? Quote, well, why are you dressed like that?
What did you have on? She said red and white, but what specifically? Red shorts and the white shirt?
I'm sure this is a guy.
Yeah, what did you have on?
Well, I dare you to have that conversation with some of these young ladies and say, well, why are you dressed like that? And see what happens. This person's asking, where's this conversation going? Yeah, I really don't know. But this is what was happening here is we've had one woman call out of the whole time.
Right.
Right?
Right.
One woman. It's the men who are all worked up because the women are really, really doing for more. This texter says here, the indecent exposure that is condoned by our authorities exhibited in carnival parades is also offensive and promotes indecent exposure. Squeezies, go on.
I mean, like, you're carnival scanty, but I think John Canoe have some scantiness too.
Let's squeeze these in really quickly. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hi. Good morning. How are you all doing?
Another woman. Thank God. Hi. How are you doing?
I'll be good. And the Cresta.
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning.
You are absolutely gorgeous. I saw you on the internet. You are. People don't know. They listening to you. But honey, you are pretty.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Here's what I'm calling for. Okay? Let me tell you something, okay? Hello?
Yes, we're listening.
Yeah. I'm a person who's going through menopause now. I'm at that age. Okay? I don't look it, but I do. All right? When I dress, I have to dress and light fitting cloth, clothing.
Mm-hmm.
I have to dress according to my condition. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with it. I agree that listen, yeah, okay. People can probably come touch you and do all this foolishness with you, okay? But you have to dress according to your society. You can dress according to your condition, right? But it depends on your society. You got stupid people out here who can touch you, who can do this and all of that, right? And it's wrong. But I agree. You kind of dress according to the society that you have. To not cause problems. You understand what I'm saying?
Understood.
Okay, you're listening.
We're listening.
Yeah, we're listening to you. We're listening to what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because if you have menopause and you're prone to hot flashes, you wouldn't wear like 3 layers of clothes. You would try to dress cool.
So what do you suggest that the young girls today and the younger women, how should they dress? What do you suggest?
Like I said, it depends on your society.
Mm-hmm. Knowing this society, what would you recommend?
We have this stupid society, right? They can touch us, right? And you have a right to dress the way you need to dress. You want to dress, right? But consider that. You got stupid society. Call the police. Keep the police, 919, on your phone. But that is our society.
Okay. All right.
That's where we at now.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I hope you understand exactly what I'm saying. I know I said it, right? I'm in menopause. I don't want nobody bothering me. Don't touch me or nothing. But you in a community, all right, where you have stupid people. And so, hey, consider that.
Yes.
Okay.
I hope you all understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Wow. And we'll end with this call here. Good morning. You're on the air. Yes. Hi. Good morning. You're live on the air.
Right.
Hi.
Andrew, and another call, man. Right. Everybody in society have to be responsible. It's responsibility, man. You ain't gonna put on a G-string and walk down the street. That's not responsible. You understand? Your dress is, you have to appropriate dress for where you going, whether it's man or woman. Because, and my girl, Pearlie Yellow, this makes positive contribution, was way off this morning, but sight ain't got nothing to do with it. Do you ever see a blind man lock up? You ever see a blind man charged with rape, robbery, or holding a gun? Sight has everything to do with it. You ain't gonna walk down the road, Dwight, with $10,000 hanging out your pocket. You're gonna attract wrongdoers. So it is responsibility. Okay? Thanks for taking my call.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Well, oh boy. All right. So these final messages, we get ready to go to the break. This person says, in rebuttal of that text, and along with the lines of what you said, DeQuesta, if men took their divinely rightful places, society actually would see a more positive shift, a more significant positive shift. As far as the dress code, both sides are right. Men need self-control, and women must still exercise wisdom.
Yeah.
Signed, a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's leave it there because this is only going to cause it to spin.
We need a different show. We need a different show.
Cause people to strip because it's going to drive us crazy. Anyway, we're going to be back. When we come back, Apple Pay is here. We're going to be talking with Commonwealth Bank about that. Stay with us. This is Morning Blend. We're going into business when we get back here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
You just know exactly what you're thinking. If you want my body and you think I'm sexy, come on, sugar, let me know.
Wendy's and Coca-Cola is giving away up to $25,000 in hot cash this summer. To enter, upgrade any premium combo from 1 through 12 to a medium or a large for your chance to win the grand prize of $10,000. Don't miss your chance to win big this summer. Visit your neighborhood Wendy's, upgrade your favorite lunch combo, and win hot cash. Rules and restrictions apply.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Sign up now for the Michael Scooter Reed Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic. This is our 30th year, and we are doing it big. Sign up for 13 and under Tropical Gyro, 16 and under the Myers Group, Sun Oil, 20 and under in the Church Group, We Buy, You Sell, the Design Group in the Open Division, and for the first time, the Jamaica Bahamas Corporate Division. Competition begins July 14th to the 20th at the Hope Center. And then Kendall Isaacs. That's the Michael Scooter Reed Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic, where we shoot hoops instead of guns.
Abaco, get ready for the summer's official rum and beer Lincoln. Royalty Sounds present Found Facts. Found Facts. Saturday, July 5th, Morris Harbor, Abaco at the Royal Recreational Ground. Gates open 5 p.m., $20 entry. Ladies free before 8 p.m. with Nassau and Abaco's hottest DJ. Don't miss the beer drinkers versus rum drinkers competition. Pulling for the best side, icicle liquor. Can't run for me. Found Facts, July 5th, Abaco. Sponsored by Collect, the beer of the Bahamas. Drink responsibly.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. Opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Tuesday, July 1st, 2025. Welcome back to Morning Blend, our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Duquesa Dean. And this morning, we heard about this a few weeks ago, many getting very excited about it. Apple Pay finally here in our market. To talk about this, very pleased to welcome from Commonwealth Bank, Vice President for IT, Javon McIntosh. Good morning, sir. Great to have you with us.
Happy to be here.
Get a little closer to that mic for us there. Yeah. All right. So many questions.
Let's start.
You ready?
Let's begin with the very basics. What is Apple Pay for those who might not be familiar with it?
So Apple Pay is one of the most secure ways to execute a payment transaction. Mm-hmm. It's globally recognized for its security and privacy. And Commonwealth Bank is proud, we're elated to be not just the first bank in the Bahamas, but also the first bank in the region to be able to provide our customers with the most secure, most private way to execute a transaction.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
That's interesting. Why would you call it the most secure? Like, is it better than credit cards?
It's a way to use your credit card, another way to use your credit card. So the way that I describe it is, if you have your credit card and you swipe it, you have to give it to someone to physically swipe. They could swipe that without you being there. Yeah. It's just a swipe.
Right.
If you give your credit card and your PIN to someone without you being there, they can insert that credit card, put in that PIN, and without you being there, they can use it.
Yeah.
With Apple Pay, we require you to authenticate with yourself, meaning you have to use your face or your fingerprint in order to authenticate the transaction.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know that it's you that executed that transaction, and no one can impersonate your facial features, your fingerprint. And that's why it's much more secure than any other form of payment execution out there today.
Excellent. All right. So Quest and I were talking about this earlier. She doesn't have an iPhone. Do you have to have Apple devices?
You do have to have an Apple device to use
Okay.
Apple Pay. I have an Apple phone that I'll lend the Quest after.
I don't like lend very much. I like have. I love
Okay.
possession.
All right.
I love it's yours.
It's yours. Okay.
Yeah, I don't like sharing things.
Okay, so,
So you
we'll get
have
you
to have
you
either a watch or
yes.
Yeah.
You need an Apple device to
Okay.
execute Apple Pay. We do have a roadmap for Android users, but we're waiting on Google to kind of introduce to the market.
Okay.
We've done all of the homework, so just to get a little bit technical, so Apple Pay uses what we call is tokenization. And what it means is that when you use your credit card, we don't actually use your credit card number. We use a number that represents your credit card. And so if that number that we use is compromised, your credit card details still remain secure. We can go and delete that token, that number that you gave to Amazon, that you gave to that shady website from China.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with your credit card. Your credit card continues to be secure.
Okay.
And that is another reason, in addition to the biometric, that makes it much more secure. Google has a similar solution, and as soon as they're available for the Bahamas, we'll be
Excellent.
ready for them.
So I'm a novice. I don't know anything about Apple and it's all of its stuff, right? So Apple Pay is used online as well, like
It
to make
is.
purchases
It
online
is.
as
It
well.
is.
It doesn't.
So-
You don't have to physically have your device to make that.
You will always have to have one of your devices to authenticate
To
the payment.
authenticate it,
But
okay.
you can initiate it online.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
as an example, I bought a pair of shoes for my wife from Nike using Apple Pay. It was supposed to be a surprise, so she was out the room. I brought her to the side. I clicked on it, and that was it. Authenticated my face. I didn't have to go look for my card number.
okay.
I didn't have. I just authenticated, double clicked, and that was
Okay,
that was
so
the
it
end of
sent
the
you an
transaction.
alert.
Exactly,
Okay.
and I could
You could verify.
double click,
Okay.
verify, and that's the end of the
All right,
transaction.
excellent. We have so many questions. We're going to get to it. We're talking with Javon McIntosh with Commonwealth Bank. So I guess you kind of said it, but how come it's taken so long to get this?
It's
to
a
this
lot of
market?
work.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think that's the bottom line. The market had to be ready. We needed to have a number of merchants that offered contactless payments. And then Apple had to build an infrastructure to accommodate Bahamian cards.
Okay.
We're first because we did some homework for other banks. And so we did testing that should probably make it easier for other banks to bring this technology to their customers.
Wow.
And we're proud of that because we think that Bahamians deserve to have a certain amount of security with the way that they execute commerce.
Absolutely.
We don't think that
There's so much
because
more.
we're third world, we should
Right.
be making payments like third world.
Right.
And so we think that this is the best and we want the best for our customers.
Yeah. So I guess tourists have been asking for this.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is
I
fine.
think most of the hotels now they've accepted Apple and Google Pay for a while
Really?
now.
Okay.
It's just that our cards
Right.
couldn't be
The Bahamian cards.
included
Okay.
in the
Right.
Apple
Okay.
Pay program.
Okay.
All right. So if
Interesting.
you are not a Commonwealth Bank customer, client, can you use this? Do you have to become one?
You have to be a
Yeah,
Commonwealth
okay.
Bank customer.
Oh, you need the Commonwealth Bank card.
You need a Commonwealth
Okay.
Bank card.
Okay.
So that's the only way that you can use this today. And so you can get one of our credit card products. There are 4 of them. You get card, which doesn't go through any credit evaluation. You can get that in about 2 days.
And you would still be able to use Apple
and you
Pay
would
with that?
still be able to use Apple Pay with any of our credit products.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think for the debit card holders, we're upgrading the debit card product in
Okay.
probably about 2 months.
Okay.
All of our debit card customers will be able to use Apple Pay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
with Apple products, I know if you are paying with Apple Pay, you can pay in installments. Would that be allowed with this as well?
Installments is really about the merchant, so the merchant has
So it's up
to
to them.
allow it.
So
Once
as
the
long as you
merchant
have Apple-
allows installments,
Yeah.
you can pay in installments.
So if you have it,
Exactly.
It's up to them.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you can pay with your watch, you can pay with your phone,
Nice.
you can pay with your any of your Apple devices.
Yeah.
So will this make like physical cards obsolete in the future? I mean, you still need it for the number, but do
I
you
can
think
tell
it's
you,
moving toward
like,
that?
this is a true story. A little embarrassing, but still true. I was going to the gas station. My car was pretty much on E. I live in Adelaide, so I didn't have an option to drive back home. I also needed to pick up my daughter, and I was running late. But I was at the gas station. I didn't have my wallet, but I had my phone. Because I had my phone, I was able to walk in, fill up my tank using Apple Pay. The card is at home. I was able to pay for that transaction, fill up my tank, go and get my daughter.
Really?
No one's the wiser that I didn't have my wallet or any cash on me. I think that's the convenience that you have with Apple Pay. If you're going jogging, you don't need to carry your wallet and your cash.
Oh, yeah.
You can just have your phone or your Apple Watch, and that's enough because
That's gonna be
you
amazing.
can still,
That's
you can
gonna be a
still
game
make a
changer.
payment.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't have to carry that bag around when you're walking and jogging. You can have everything
get it
right
on
there on your phone
watch,
or your watch. Okay, so this text is asking, could this service be available for Commonwealth Bank business accounts as well?
Any customer that has one of our credit card products, so the prepaid, the gold, standard, black or platinum cards, you can have that card in Apple Pay. You can roll that in Apple Pay.
Excellent, excellent. You mentioned the prepaid cards. Any minimum required for it?
There's no minimum requirement for a prepaid card. There's no credit evaluation for a prepaid card. There's just a fee to load the card, and that's it.
This is a win-win.
Is it like a transaction fee per transaction? You're not sure.
It's similar to all credit cards.
Okay.
It operates
Talking
more
about
like
Apple Pay.
I'm talking more about the prepaid
prepaid
card.
cards,
The
yeah.
prepaid card operates more like your debit card
Right.
product.
You only can
It's the
use what
money
you
that
have.
you put on
Right,
it. There's
right.
no interest
Right.
on it.
Oh, awesome.
It's kind of like one of our best kept secrets.
Right.
And you just need a passport to get a prepaid card.
Okay, wow.
So speaking of transaction fees, Apple Pay is their transaction
There's no fee to the customer.
Oh, my goodness.
Commonwealth Bank takes care of all of that on behalf of our
What?
customers.
Oh, wow.
Why would we?
Right.
Because we really want to decrease the amount of fraud around credit card and digital
Right.
payments,
There's
and
a lot of fraud.
this is a significant way to reduce the amount of fraud.
Yeah.
And to do that in a very secure and convenient way. It's a little sexy to use Apple Pay, but it's also very, very secure, and
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to give. Above all things to our customers.
That's amazing.
It is.
So what's the response been like from people since you made that announcement? Because that
So
was really surprising.
it's been awesome. We have over 1,000 persons that have now signed up
Really?
for Apple Pay.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and
No, it's
we think it should be higher.
Wow.
Especially once my good friend gets her Apple phone.
Right.
No,
I know who won't be purchasing it. That would be
So
me.
you need a gift. Okay.
Yeah,
all right. That's pretty cool. And again, to set up an account, if other than a prepaid, what would you need to do?
So there are a couple ways to do it. So we have a digital wallet. You download the digital wallet, you authenticate, add the card into the wallet, and then you can just push the card to any of your Apple products. So your phone, your watch, you can just push the card using our wallet. Another plug, not about Apple Pay, but also with this wallet, any of our credit cards, they get enrolled into our rewards program, where we're actually giving cash back on all purchases for all of our credit card products. So every purchase you make on a credit card product, you get cash directly into your wallet, and you can use that the way you choose.
Excellent.
So Apple Pay got launched, which is quite impressive and awesome, but also the rewards program for credit card products. This also got launched at the same time.
Yeah. We're getting some great text messages. You can text us as well, 422-4796, and call in 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Maybe you're in the Family Islands. Call us 242-300-5720. We're talking with Javon McIntosh with Commonwealth Bank. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hey guys, how you doing? Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I was one of those
customers who was behind Commonwealth Bank. I mean, actually, I was elated to learn that they got Apple Pay because I was using Apple Pay on my U.S. card. Makes it so easy for, especially during the summertime when people are traveling, to load up your card once you get into the U.S. or wherever you're traveling. Because even down in South America, I could be able to use my phone because I don't like traveling and taking cash and got to look for ATMs and all that stuff. It's easy when you going into tours and all that stuff. You can just pull out your phone or your Apple Watch and you just create your transaction at that point. So I was so happy when I heard they got Apple Pay here because like right now I going for a cup of coffee, man. I don't want $5. I don't want $5 cash on me. I could just pull my phone out and use my Commonwealth card at Starbucks and scan my coffee and I out of the place and don't have to worry about my wallet, cash and all that stuff. So I think it kinds of creates a sense of innovation in the country where we could go into this whole digital payment and create less stress. I wish it could be at the pumps when you go on the gas. So I think I congratulate Mr. McIntosh, those at Commonwealth Bank for this amazing addition to digital banking in the country, man.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah. So that's a good point he raised. There's a texter asking about that as well. The merchants, is everybody on board? Do they know? Do they understand how this is?
Yeah, I think most merchants have been able to accept Apple Pay for a very long time. The contactless mandate is very old. It's not recent. It's just that we couldn't enroll Bahamian cards into the Apple program.
Because as you said, I think some of the hotels have been accepted.
Yeah.
So when you travel, sometimes your card works, sometimes it doesn't work. You get a block on your card because it might be potential fraud, all that kind of stuff. So is this a way to
reduce that?
Yeah, to get around that, because now you load your Apple, whatever.
It's absolutely a way to reduce that. One of the reasons that we would put a restriction on your card is we cannot authenticate that it's you that's actually making that transaction. When we're sure it's you, we want that transaction to go through. And Apple Pay is one of the ways that we can be sure that it's you that's making that transaction. So if you travel to South America, you travel to the US, and you're using Apple Pay, we know it's you, so we're more inclined to allow that transaction to authenticate.
Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Professor. Good morning, Mr. McIntosh.
Hi.
Let me congratulate Commonwealth Bank on a very bold, strategic move. I think it was long overdue. Many of us who are travelers, we welcome this opportunity, and I hope that you push a little further to bring on another product that I'm going to ask about. As you also know, out there, especially if you've been living in the States for a while, you have that PayPal platform, and I know for a while lots of Bahamians have been asking why is it that PayPal is not readily available here in the Bahamas as well. Not taking anything away from the launch that you're doing now, but does Commonwealth Bank have any plans at all that you know of to also try and bring PayPal onto the platform as well, so we as Bahamians have a greater chance to have availability to that platform as a second choice to what you're launching now? That is basically the question I wanted to ask.
Yes, so this one is easy.
Interesting. I mean, isn't PayPal...
So Commonwealth Bank cards are included in the PayPal program.
Yeah.
You can add your Commonwealth Bank card to PayPal. You can even add your Commonwealth Bank debit card to PayPal, and you're allowed to receive transactions.
Okay, now that might be the thing. I think some people can't receive, but I think everybody can add PayPal.
Can charge.
Right.
Yeah.
So
you can receive your PayPal.
You can receive payments using Commonwealth Bank cards.
Okay.
Now, here's a point of friction for customers using PayPal. PayPal's, the way that they authenticate persons to be enrolled in PayPal is not very strong. I would say, maybe that's not the right, let's say, tone, but a lot of fraud is initiated by members of the PayPal community. And so various banks have put more restrictions on PayPal transactions just because of the fraud. If we were able to determine a way to reduce the fraud, there would really be less restrictions. So there is a point of friction with some PayPal transactions. It's largely for PayPal merchants that originate outside of the U.S. and
Right,
the
those
major
countries.
European countries.
Right.
So if you're using a PayPal service where the merchant maybe originates in China or India, maybe there's a little bit of friction, but by and large, we see a lot of PayPal commerce on our various payment products.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, this texter says here, Apple Pay has saved me numerous times. I have it through my Wells Fargo account in the States, but excited to see that it's here locally. What merchants need to know is, yes, they do accept Apple Pay, and it's simply an NFC transaction, nothing special they have to sign up for.
Perfect. I think that's accurate. There's nothing special that merchants need to do. Once they accept contactless transactions, they should be able to accept Apple Pay. And I'd go further that Apple Pay is even more convenient than tapping on the card. Most POS devices have a restriction on the amount that you can tap. So for some it's $50, for some maybe it's $100. There's no tap restriction for Apple Pay. So you can have Apple Pay, be in a restaurant, the bill, maybe it's $300, $400, and you can, with a high degree of confidence, tap and be assured that if you have money on your card, that you will be able to make that purchase.
That's the key thing. You have to have the money. Make sure the money is there.
So along those lines, I guess you just answered that. Is there a spending limit?
There's no spending limit. The only limit is the limit that you have for the actual card.
Okay.
If you have a limit on your card, if you have a limit on the available funds on your card, that is the limit that you have for Apple Pay.
Okay.
Oh boy, here's his text. Thank God Apple Pay is in the Bahamas. I'll take it over Sand Dollar.
How you comparing that to that? Like,
I mean, it works in a similar way, right?
yeah.
I mean, what's the issue? I mean,
with Sand Dollar and Apple Pay?
Sand Dollar is limited to the Bahamas, right?
It's two different ecosystems.
Yeah.
One was really designed for underserved and to try to make payments faster, easier for Bahamians.
Yeah. Right.
And one has, I guess, a bit more of a global reach.
And here's the other thing. If you have Android, you can use Sand Dollar. So, right, for people like Dakota, right. So they're not competing.
No,
it's not really.
And you can have them both.
You can have them
They do
both. Why
different
not?
things,
have them both.
right.
You can have them both.
The benefits, it's going to be great to have both.
Yeah.
You answered this already. Finally, what took it so long? But you said you wanted to get it right and had a lot of things to do in the background. But first in the region.
First in the region,
That's amazing.
first in the country.
So, does the merchant have to be a Commonwealth Bank customer?
They do not.
Okay.
In fact, our testing forced us to get Apple Pay approved. We had to go to a wide cross-section of merchants for all of the financial institutions in the Bahamas and demonstrate that Apple Pay would work across all of the financial institutions in the Bahamas.
I just want to be clear. So, currently now, if I have a Commonwealth Bank card and I have Apple products, right? I can go to any merchant to use that. But that merchant has to sign up. Like
The
I just
merchant
want to.
doesn't have to do anything.
Right. You can just go.
You can
and
just
tap.
go and tap.
Okay.
You don't need to have a conversation with them when they ask you to pay.
Right.
You just bring out your Apple Pay on your phone,
Right.
your watch, your device,
And
put
tap.
it in there, and the
Okay.
Tap it where they would do
Exactly.
credit card transactions normally.
Yes.
Yeah. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. All right.
Easy, fast, and secure.
Any other things you think people should be keeping in mind with this and just in the future? Any?
Yeah, I think that Commonwealth Bank, we're investing heavily in all of our digital services, online banking, rewards program. We have a digital wallet, which we're very proud of, that we think will be the hub of all of the commerce around our card products. We're also upgrading, online banking and various products to make banking easier and to ensure that customers are going to be able to bank the way they want to bank. We don't want to impose a banking model for customers. We want them to really be able to personalize their banking experience. So that's what we're working on. You'll see that with Apple Pay, but you'll also see that in a myriad of products that we're investing in currently.
Wonderful stuff. Javon McIntosh, you didn't expect these type questions here. This person wants to know where you hid your wife's shoes. I don't know. This is serious text here.
Well, she's already got them.
Right.
I just wanted to hide the fact that I was buying it for
so
her.
it could be a gift.
Yeah, so that it could really be a gift.
Okay, yeah.
All right. And if folks want more information about Apple Pay and about Commonwealth Bank and your services, what should they do? What can they do?
They can log in online. We have a lot of info and FAQs already posted on our website. They can call our call center at 394-CARD, and they can visit any of our branches in the Bahamas and talk to anyone and get info on Apple Pay or any of our products.
Excellent stuff. This is very exciting. We've got to get DeQuesta on the Apple side of things.
Javon already said he's gonna get me an Apple phone. So
yeah, use the exact language that I use.
Yeah, we have to get DeQuesta. Yeah. That's what you said, right? I don't know who all included in the we.
Oh boy. Or you could buy your own Apple.
No, that's not gonna happen.
No, but using Apple Pay, you could do it.
No, I can't afford to purchase an Apple
telling
phone.
you, if you go on Apple,
And I don't want to finance
do it
it,
in installments with them directly.
No.
What?
I don't believe in that. Sorry.
Anyway.
So you want our prepaid product.
Right.
Okay, we will work it out. Javon McIntosh, thank you again. Appreciate it.
Great to be
great
here.
stuff. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Apple Pay and
Congratulations.
Commonwealth Bank.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to a very exciting future in the country. So thanks again. All right, let's take a break and be back with our final few minutes of Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Sheila, why are you in this class with?
Miss Ann, my AC ain't working and Henry always promising to take it to Caribbean Gas.
Really? I thought they only sell gas.
No, girl. Take your car to Caribbean Gas on Glaston Road and someone will recharge your car AC for only $35. And it only takes about 10 minutes. They sell all kinds of refrigeration gases for your house, your boat, your car, and them big freezers. Mind call them 361-6007 or 552-9597. Or just go there. You don't need no appointment. Caribbean Gas for all your refrigeration needs.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and binders, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
With RBC, your idea of loving every journey happens now. Free up cash with affordable auto financing from RBC. With competitive rates and no bank fees, it's the perfect time to make every journey something special. Apply now to pre-qualify in 60 seconds at rbc.com/auto loan to shop with confidence. Conditions apply. RBC, your idea of loving your journey happens here.
Abaco, get ready Ready for the summer's official rum and beer link-up. Royalty Sounds present Found Fast. Found Fast. Saturday, July 5th, Morris Harbor, Abaco. At the Royal Recreational Ground. Gates open 5 p.m., $20 entry. Ladies free before 8 p.m. With Nassau and Abaco's hottest DJ. Don't miss the beer drinkers versus rum drinkers competition.
Right, pulling for the best side, icicle liquor.
Can't run for me. Found Fast, July 5th, Abaco. Sponsored by Collect, the Beer of the Bahamas. Drink responsibly.
Only one item? Are you tired of limited choices? I'll have the one item on the menu, thank you. Wow! So many choices. Why settle for less when you deserve more? When it comes to the ways you pay, the more, the better. With a variety of payment options available, you can enjoy the freedom to choose what works best for you. Choose freedom. Choose flexibility. Choose from the full menu of payment options. The future of pay is digital.
You work hard for your money, so let your money work hard for you. With as little as $1,000 to start, you can watch your money grow by investing in CFAL's Bahamian dollar and US dollar mutual funds, each tailored to match your unique investment profile. Our expert advisors are dedicated to crafting personalized investment strategies to help you achieve your financial goals. Don't miss out on the chance to earn higher returns on your hard-earned money. Join the thousands of investors who trust CFAL and start your journey toward financial freedom today. Visit us at cfal.com to learn more about our saving and investment ops help you build wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, there, the Athlete's Foot and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Fine Threads, Alive Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clocks and Island Luck, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
It is time for your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL. IRCA, the Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority, has launched a public consultation document on regulatory accounting guidelines for public electricity suppliers, with IRCA soon to require small and large PESs, as they're known, to maintain accounting records specific to their regulated operations. IRCA saying in that statement that they've observed instances where accounting data submitted by licensees included information unrelated to their regulated operations, making it difficult to accurately assess performance, enforce regulatory compliance, and protect the public interest. IRCA says this change in accounting standards for PESs is a critical step in ensuring their business processes are transparent, accountable, fair, and aligned with international standards. Association of Bahamas Marinas President Peter Morey telling Guardian Business that marina bookings are down 80% this year from their normal highs pre-Hurricane Dorian. Morey blames this drastic decline in bookings on the government's implementation of a new fee schedule for boats entering the country under the Customs Management Regulations 2025. Morey says that losing these boats to the rest of the Caribbean over the past couple of years it's been hard, and it's going to be hard to get them back, as reservations have already been made for next year. You can read more about his comments in today's Guardian Business section. Meanwhile, a leading U.S.-based marine trade association is warning that new fee changes impacting the boating industry in the country will have an immediate and adverse effect on boating tourism for the country. President and Chief Executive Officer of the National Marine Manufacturers Association, Frank Kugelmeyer, in a letter to the Office of the Prime Minister dated June 26th, said that a significant change in marine industry fees set to take effect today, July 1st, will significantly reduce visitation to Bahamian marinas. Attorney General Ryan Pinder, after consultation with the boating industry, described the new fees as fair during his contribution to the budget debate in the Senate last week. Hugelmeyer's letter also said the U.S. recreational boating industry has a $230 billion impact on the nation's economy and supports over 812,000 jobs across 36,000 U.S.-based marine businesses. The largest impact is felt in Florida, where the industry contributes over $30 billion to that state's economy. The letter says that the significant changes in fees, including the cruising permit for boats under 35 feet from $150 to $500, and for those over 35 feet from $300 to $1,000, alongside a reduction in permit duration from 90 to 30 days, and the addition of per-person surcharges and separate fishing permit costs, will have an immediate and adverse impact on boating tourism for the Bahamas, including canceled trips. And leading independent investment management and advisory firm CFAL has launched a private equity fund, inviting individuals to invest in 2 new public electricity providers, preparing to offer clean energy solutions to New Providence and Family Islands. According to CFAL's informational document on the fund, it was registered as a segregated accounts company, which allows for the fund to allocate different classes of shares to independent projects, thus avoiding the commingling of assets and liabilities for various investment funds or investments made. CFAL explained that the fund's offerings are scheduled for July 21st through 29th, with an offering memorandum being released to the public on July 18th. CFAL will offer Class A shares to raise $10 million to acquire a 10% ownership stake in EA Energy Limited, and Class B shares to raise $10 million to acquire a 10% ownership stake in Island Power Producers. Back in March, CFAL revealed that EA Energy was seeking to raise $132 million in debt and equity financing for its renewable energy projects on Abaco and Eleuthera through a bond and equity offering. Overseas, U.S. stocks are drifting today as Wall Street's momentum slows after setting record highs in each of the last 2 days. The S&P 500 was 0.3% lower in early trading and on track for its first loss in 4 days. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was edging down by 21 points, or less than 0.1% as of 9:35 a.m. And the Nasdaq Composite was 0.5% lower. Tesla helped pull the market lower as the relationship between its CEO, Elon Musk, and President Donald Trump soured even further. Once allies, the two have clashed recently, and Trump suggested there's potentially big money to be saved by scrutinizing subsidies, contracts, or other government spending going to Musk's companies. Tesla fell 6.9% and was the heaviest weight on the S&P 500. It has already dropped a little more than 21% for the year so far, coming into the day, in part because of Musk's and Trump's feud. The U.S. stock market has made a stunning recovery from its springtime sell-off of roughly 20%, but challenges still lay ahead for Wall Street, with one of the largest being the continued threat of Trump's tariffs. Many of Trump's stiff proposed tariffs on imports are currently on pause, but they're scheduled to kick into effect in about a week. Depending on how big they are, they could hurt the economy and worsen inflation. And Greenland has a message for the rest of the world. We're waiting for you. The mineral-rich Arctic island is open for tourism, whale-watching tours, excursions to the iconic Puffin Island, and guided charters through remote settlements are just the beginning of what Greenland has to offer visitors. Locals want to show what makes the island unique beyond a recent diplomatic dust-up with U.S. President Donald Trump. The tourism industry is expected to see a boom this year following the launch of a new route between Nuuk and Newark, New Jersey. The inaugural flight, June 14th, was the first direct travel from the U.S. to Greenland by an American airline. Before the direct flight, air passengers departing from the U.S. needed a layover in Iceland or Denmark to reach Greenland. The change benefited travelers, many travelers. Cruise ships also dock on the island, but they bring less money to businesses catering to tourists because passengers sleep and usually eat on board. Sounds familiar. In your market watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Monday, your market movers, Cable Bahamas moving 825 shares, closing at 387 unchanged. Commonwealth Bank moving 65,200, down 1 cent, closing at 483. Consolidated Water up 3 cents, closing at $6. Emira Incorporated up 19 cents, closing at 11.19. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 3,039.25, up 0.21. That's your Market Watch, and that is your Morning Business Report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And we're back with Morning Blend Business, our final few minutes here on the show today. Dwight Strachan along with Duquesa Dean. Just want to remind you that Love on a Two-Way Street, we told you about this a few weeks back. It's back for one final encore. Friday, July 11th, 2025 at 8 p.m. at St. John's College Auditorium, Stapleton Gardens, for the emotional roller coaster that stole the hearts of audiences across Nassau. Tickets are $50. Box offices are at Doc's Pharmacy and 17 Shop, or call 802-0602 to reserve your tickets today. Love on a Two-Way Street, one street, two hearts, a lifetime of choices. Friday, July 11th. Okay, all right, so that'll be a great Independence Weekend celebration there. All right, doing anything? Got anything special planned for Independence?
No, I don't actually. I'll more than likely be working. It's kind of busy for us, so.
Not that day though. Not Independence.
I may be. Yeah.
July 10th? Working?
Yeah.
What now?
Saturdays, Sundays, holidays sometimes have no significance.
Oh, boy. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that. All right.
What do you want planned?
Working on it.
Get all the traditional Bahamian. What food is representative of independence? Is it like crab and dough? Is it like cassava and boiled? And what is? I wonder what it is.
I don't think we have anything like that, right? Yeah, we could work on that.
Yeah,
the Americans will be doing hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff
on
like that.
their independence.
But what do we have?
Yeah, what do we have?
Great idea. Crab is definitely a lot of crab around, so maybe it could be crab related, but it is very hot.
It's hot.
Good to have something that could cool you down.
Yeah.
Conch salad doesn't really cool you down.
Not really. Ooh, that sounds good. Conch salad. Yeah.
And I told you, I don't know if I told you, but I don't really eat conch salad in the summer.
Why?
For safety reasons. See, the producer's nodding.
No, he don't eat it in the summer either.
I take off like a 5 to 6 month break.
Okay.
So by November,
you'll have it again. Okay.
But not during this time.
Okay. So I'll heed your wisdom.
Don't listen to me. Don't cause me to shut down anybody's business. But that's just me. But maybe, I don't know. But that's a good idea. What would be
Yeah.
the good food to celebrate
On Independence Day? Is it
folks?
like people get like, I remember when I worked at an organization, they would have stuff like benny cake and coconut
Oh,
cake
that's
and those sorts of dessert type things.
Yeah.
But like for food,
Interesting. This texture says here, conch fritters, conch salad.
Conch fritters sound so good. Yeah. They do.
Sure. That's a good idea. We know we definitely will be hopefully in the decorations.
Maybe stew fish. Stew and boil and such for the breakfast.
But
Yeah, it
in
is
the
hard, I
morning,
know.
in the maybe,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
any time of year would be good for that.
Yeah.
But that's
Because
Maybe
what is traditionally Bahamian food?
well, there's a lot, but
You
is it
know? Right.
summer appropriate?
Right.
And that's a challenge. A lot of our food is hot and heavy.
Yeah.
So, but we have time. We're young. We can figure this out, right? So come up with suggestions. Maybe we've got a lot of mangoes in season. Maybe you can incorporate some mango something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
make
What do you
that
think about crab salad? You know, like how people make use the imitation crab to make crab salad. Like, what if you use like the real crab and like you take the meat out of it and make it like a salad? It could be a thing, though. I don't eat crab, but
Producer, what do you think about that?
you could try
Real
that.
crab, land crab, or crab salad.
It might be interesting. you know, someone should try it. And I say
And are you
someone
gonna
because I
taste
don't
it?
eat. No.
Okay. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I think you better heat that up.
Gross. You boil it. You would obviously have to boil it, and then, like, you know, like how they do it to do stuffed crab. Then you could just do it to make a salad instead. It might be interesting.
That is certainly one word that it would be. Caller, what say you on this?
Yes, I think I listened to the conversation, and yes, is correct. That's the original where crab salad came from. It's pretty expensive, but it tastes pretty nice.
Oh, okay, so he's had it before.
No, that's a thing. That's actually a thing.
Okay.
But it's pretty expensive. It's
Okay.
pretty expensive. That's why they use the imitation crab to try make it look the same. Taste the same, but no, the real crab is very expensive. But you don't want a bunch of the crack those things and put the crab.
That's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work too.
But it is a thing. It's pretty expensive. Even if you go in the food stores like Super Value, it says the real crab, but it's expensive. And if you think the American crab is expensive, that must be with 4 times as much as the regular for about my.
Okay. Thank you for letting us know.
Thanks a lot. Stuffed crab, maybe,
I guess.
maybe, yeah.
Stuffed crab.
So, hey, we got some days to work on it. Figure
Yeah.
it out what
Yeah.
the menu's going to be. We go to DeQuesta's house for Independence
Why
Day.
not?
Yeah.
I may not be there, but you could enjoy it.
Oh, man.
Someone
Okay.
should.
Yeah, sure. So I'll see you next week.
You sure will. God's
Thank you
willing.
very much. And
You'll
I'll be
be
back
right
tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay tuned, folks. We've been telling you about this giveaway, the Sail Away giveaway. Some very lucky people are going to be getting closer to winning the cruise coming up in just a few minutes. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. Is it going to be you? You're going to be getting a call